and welcome back to Life in Print with Leonie, or welcome if you're new. So today I'm going to be doing a video all about my collection of signed and special edition books. So I'm going to get straight into it. So the first ones that I want to talk about is my first edition, first print copies of the Harry Potter books. I didn't know until recently that they were first edition, first prints, until all that stuff came out about them being worth a lot of money, and I just thought I'll have a look and realised that the majority of mine were. So I have a first edition, first print of The Goblet of Fire, first edition, first print of The Order of the Phoenix, first edition, first print of The Half-Blood Prince, and first edition, first print of The Deathly Hallows. I unfortunately don't have any special versions of The Philosopher's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, or The Prisoner of Azkaban. They're just the normal copies. I have a first edition, first print of Strange the Dreamer by Leonie Taylor, and the way that this is known is a little bit different from the Harry Potter ones, which actually say first edition on them. The reason that I know this is because of the type of cover that it's got, which is this one, and because on the inside is a one-off illustration and printed signature from the author Leonie Taylor. Now with that one, I really didn't know that I'd got a special copy of it. I thought up until that point that that was the only cover that they had, and I went in Waterstones the other week and there's still several copies which look exactly like mine. So it was only through going on to get a picture to use for my review on my blog that I actually came across the information that told me that that was a first edition, first print, which was a nice surprise because it has become one of my absolute favourite books. On to my signed books now. So I have The Devil's Prayer by Gracias, and the inscription on this reads, "Dear Leonie, thank you for your support of The Devil's Prayer and for doing an author's interview for me for your blog. Wishing you the very best for the future. Best regards, Luke." And that was really kind of Luke, because basically we met through NetGalley. So I did a review of The Devil's Prayer, Luke retweeted it on Twitter, we got chatting and I asked him if he'd like to do the author's interview, which he agreed to. That was a lot of fun because I got to go to Luke's website and actually look at some photos of the places that he'd been in order to research for his novel, which was really interesting. So I did the interview and I did a giveaway along with it, and Luke said, you know, I'm doing the giveaway but also I'm going to send you a book as well, so that was really kind of him and really nice, and I'm looking forward to The Devil's Prayer follow-up coming out. I spoke to Luke recently and he is researching for that at the moment as well, so he's very lucky he gets to travel around a lot to do that. Poacher to King's Knight by William Marples. Now this one is one that probably people haven't heard of because he's an author who was local to me, and I met him at a charity event that I was involved in at work, and he mentioned that he'd written this book and had it published himself, and I mentioned how much I love books, so he actually signed this one for me, which is To Leonie, Best Wishes, William Marples. Now this one is all about a 15-year-old boy called Toby who lives in the 12th century and how he changed his life from being a poacher to being a knight. Haven't had the chance to read it yet, but I am looking forward to doing so at some point when I get round to it. Finally, I have all three of the Entanglement series by Chris Brooks, and they're all signed as well. So I met Chris a few years ago now at a book club that I used to go to back in my hometown of Rotherham. And he was there and he did like an interview, I suppose, and sort of a presentation and a talk about becoming an author, and I got chatting to him and talked about how I myself wanted to be an author, and we became friendly, we exchanged emails, started talking on Goodreads, and then really strangely as well, he actually invigilated one of my university exams, which was random, but I believe he gave me luck because I really didn't think I was going to pass that one, and I did. Anyway, so the Entanglement series is based in and around the Sheffield area, and the first one, Entanglement of Fate, which is this one here, is all about introducing us to the court missionary Robert Elliot and how he meets a nurse called Mary O'Driscoll who helps him to unravel a mystery around a guy called the Street Arab, who is actually based on a real life character as well, and he was actually a man called Walter Stanford. And it's all about an interlocking mystery of sort of not just like your normal mystery. There's all kinds of sort of other things that work on there. There's things that are a little bit mysterious, a little bit supernatural, maybe a touch of the paranormal, but it really got me hooked on this first one when we read it for part of our book group. And then Chris sent me a signed copy at a later date because we'd become friends, and I'll get to all of that in a moment. So the inscription on this one reads, "To Leonie, a trusted beta reader, literary confidant and friend," and then best wishes and Chris's signature. Now the second one in the series, Entanglement of Revenge, is not just special because it's signed, but it's special because it actually has a picture of my face on it. So when I read the first book and got chatting to Chris, he asked me if I'd be interested in beta reading for him. So I agreed, and I started doing that, giving him feedback sort of chapter by chapter, then reading the whole novel again to give like an overall feedback, and it was really interesting as well. And then during the production of the actual printing of the book, and Chris's designer asked who I was and thought I would be okay for the front cover of the book. So Chris asked me and I agreed, and they used my photo, sort of changed a little bit about me obviously to make me look like I was from the time period when it's set, and here it is. So this one's special as well because it has the inscription in it, "To Leonie, who began as a test reader on this book and ended up inspiring Louise, with my thanks and best wishes." So Louise is one of the characters in An Entanglement of Revenge, and yeah, somehow my personality rubbed off on her as well, so there we go. And I'm also mentioned in the acknowledgements at the beginning as well. To the lovely Leonie, who allowed me to borrow her looks and I think some of her personality when developing Louise. It's really nice to actually be acknowledged in there. I do have a really great friendship with Chris. We talk quite regularly. He's read some of my writing for me and also kindly lent me his red pen lady at times as well, just to give me a sort of idea of the editing process that I need to go through with my own writing, and it's really developed a great friendship and a great team, I'd like to say, between us as well. So we're back to Robert Elliot, the court guy, in here as well, and in this one he's investigating the mystery of a pit disaster that's linked to various different things, from a sort of controlling head of a family to affairs and secret relationships and all kinds of different things. Entanglement is the perfect way to describe these books because all of them are an entanglement of lots of different things. Doesn't make the novel too busy either. They are still really intriguing and really drag you into the book. And finally we have Entanglement of Deceit. This is the last one in this series up to now, although I know Chris does hope to write some more in the future when he's not busy with other things, because he does write a lot of scripts for plays and things like that, so he's always, like me, very busy. So this one came out last year in 2016, and we see Elliot again. A well-known judge is found dead in his cell. It's unexplainable. And then his son, who has autism, has nowhere to go basically, so Elliot and his wife kind of take him under their wing a little bit and take him to stay with their doctor friend Tom and his wife Mary, who we met in the first and second books as well. And all the kind of entanglements and mysteries start developing then again at that point when they get to London, and things start revealing themselves as not being quite what they are. Now this is based in a world war as well, so there's lots going on outside of the usual mysteries, so there's a lot about espionage and hidden war secrets as well, which makes it really interesting. So the inscription in this one is, "For Leonie, an awesome beta reader, best wishes, Chris." So that is the grand total of all my special edition or signed books. I hope you've enjoyed looking at them with me, and I hope it's giving you some recommendations of books that maybe you haven't heard of before, because I have spoke about a lot of self-published books that haven't so much been in the wide market. I put a link as well to Chris's website in my bio so that you can check that out, because he does run sort of free opportunities to read, say, the first book in the series before you buy the second and third and so on, so you get a taste of whether you'd like it. So that might be worth checking out. You can also get reviews for all of the books I've mentioned on my WordPress blog, which is Life Has a Funny Way of Sneaking Up on You.wordpress.com. Thanks for checking out my channel again, and I'll see you next time.